Hello everyone, today I wanted to show you a very chaos magic inspired planetary magic ritual. I'm going to be taking you along vlog style, so this is going to be a really informal chatty video. This is not going to be a how-to video. I have so many different planetary magic videos on my channel. I've got a playlist dedicated to planetary magic and moon magic on the homepage of my YouTube channel, so if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to go check that out. But I realized that I had put all these planetary magic videos out, but then I've never actually shown you what my own personal rituals look like, because it is very, very chaos magic inspired. It is not a traditional ceremonial magic approach. And today's video topic was actually voted on by my channel members, so it is thanks to them that we are doing this video topic today. It's so informal that I don't even have my lights up. Usually I have a light shining on me when I film these videos, but I'm about to flip you around and show you what I'm actually doing over here, so I don't even have all my lights up for filming or anything like that. This is really going to be super casual. And I do want to say also, my planetary magic rituals change all the time, but there is at least some sort of flow, some sort of structure to each of them. So that's what I'm going to be kind of talking about today. Please know, again, this is very chaos magic inspired, okay? We are not doing traditional ceremonial magic when I'm doing this type of planetary magic, because I know if I don't say that, there's going to be people in the comments that are like, this is not planetary magic. Listen, I know I'm not a traditionalist. We're just going to have fun today and we're going to play. So when I am constructing a planetary magic ritual, the very first thing that I consider is planetary timing. The second step is correspondences, and the third step is constructing the ritual. So I'll have this video kind of broken up into those three phases, and then I'll show you the actual planetary ritual at the very end. So the very first thing is considering planetary timing, and so I pick whichever planet I want to work with, and for today's ritual, I think I'm going to work with Mercury, but the first thing that I check is planetary retrogrades, because I do not want to be working with a particular planet that is currently in retrograde. This is just a personal preference, but if a planet's in retrograde, that usually indicates that that area of life is going under a construction period of revising, revisiting, reflecting, refreshing, etc. And it's not necessarily the best time to be manifesting with that particular planet. I mean, there's exceptions to this, of course. There are always exceptions, especially if you're trying to weave in your natal chart and your own retrogrades and all that. I don't weave in any sort of natal astrology, the study of birth charts, into my planetary magic practice, because they're two very separate things, and I don't want to go on a whole rant here as to why I do that, so I'll just simply say I don't mix the two. So I check to see if the planet is in retrograde. If it's not, fantastic. That means we are in forward motion and we're able to manifest, so that's good. And then I will look at what sign that planet is sitting in. So of course there are certain zodiac signs where certain planets will feel more at home, and then there are other zodiac signs where the planet may be really struggling with that energy and it doesn't necessarily feel comfortable, like it's at home, etc. So I usually try to first look at what the planet is actually doing in the sky, aka is it in retrograde? What zodiac sign is it sitting in? Is it comfortable right now? And what other notable transits are happening in the sky that may affect the energies that may be going into my planetary magic ritual? Obviously that gets very complex, so I'm not going to deep dive into that in this video, but I'll show you an app that I love to use for this. It's called Astromatrix. Let me actually show you. Okay, so I love this app called Astromatrix. Honestly, there's so many different apps that you can use for something like this, but this app will show you your natal chart, your birth chart, and it'll tell you everything about yourself. So if that's something that you're interested in, go for it. I don't really use it for that because I'm already pretty familiar with my own birth chart, but what I use it for is getting the current chart, aka where the planets are in the sky today, and it shows the current placements. So you can see the chart there, and then it gives all of the placements for where the planets are right now. So I am wanting to work with Mercury, so I'm going to check it is not in retrograde and it's in Gemini, which is so perfect because Mercury rules over Gemini, and it could not be in a better position. Out of all the zodiac signs, I wanted it to be in Gemini, so I really want to take advantage of this Mercury in Gemini energy. And actually it's funny because I wanted to do this ritual days ago. Here's the thing with planetary timing that gets really tricky. I wanted to film this video a couple days ago because Mars was also in Aries at that point, which was perfect for the ritual that I wanted to do, but I was so busy in my personal life that I could not take advantage of those placements. So sometimes is not ideal and you just have to work with what you have. I don't love that Mars is in Taurus right now for the working that I'm doing today, but it's okay. Mercury is in Gemini. We're not in retrograde. That's fine. The next thing that I look at for planetary timing is planetary days and hours. So since I'm wanting to work with Mercury, Mercury rules over Wednesdays. So ideally I would want to perform this ritual on a Wednesday. However, today is Thursday. So I was so sad because I originally wanted to do this working a week ago. And then I said, okay, if I can't do that, then I'll do it next Wednesday. Well, yesterday came and went and I was too busy. So now it's Thursday, which is ruled by Jupiter. But that's okay because we also have planetary hours. So even if you can't get it on the right day, you know, Wednesday has passed, but I still want to do this working on a Thursday, which is not ruled by Mercury, you can go to a website called planetaryhours.net. I will show you this as well. Okay, so you go to this website called planetaryhours.net. You put in your time zone, or you put in your city where you're located and also what time it is. And then it gives you a whole list of planetary hours. It's not technically an hour on the dot, but it's going to be ruled by a different planet. So, oh, actually right now is the hour of Mercury where that highlighter is. Oh my gosh, how much time do I have? I think I'm gonna run out of time. Oh no, the hour of Mercury is just now ending. Okay. The next hour of Mercury isn't until 7:47 and it lasts until 9:07. Okay, so I can do this ritual this evening after 7:47. That'll be during the hour of Mercury. So that's perfect because it is 11:50 right now, 11:50 a.m. in the afternoon, obviously. And that gives me all day to kind of prep my ritual and get it ready for tonight, where I can start it after 7:47 p.m. So at least I'm taking advantage of planetary hours, even though I can't get the planetary day. And I just want to put a note here too, that like, if you need to do a spell right now, just do the spell right now, you know? It's nice when you can get the stars to align in the sky, and it's nice if you can do it on the planetary day or the planetary hour, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. I had the perfect alignment for my ritual last week, and then shit hit the fan and I just couldn't do the ritual that day, and it is what it is. So now we're here and it's fine. It's Thursday, it's whatever. This is honestly probably the most time-consuming part out of the whole Planetary Magick Ritual, is just figuring out when to do the ritual. Because once you've got that figured out of when you're doing it, I feel like the rest is really fun and really easy, especially with the chaos magic approach. Ceremonial magic, like traditional planetary magic, is very different, of course, but I like to have a little play and fun in my practice. Next step is looking for correspondences for the ritual, and I like to consult a couple different books for this. So I really love this Practical Planetary Magic book. This is the book that I recommend for beginners wanting to get into planetary magic. I do have a whole video on book recommendations for natal astrology and planetary magic, but this one in particular, I really love this one for beginners. So turning to Mercury, I kind of want to see what correspondences we can work with here. So we've got numbers 8, 64, 88, and 888. I think I'm just going to work with the number 8. Colors, we've got orange and light blue, and then it tells you which zodiac signs it rules over, as well as which day of the week, which element, which direction, etc. And I want to see how this information differs in other books that I have. So I also have this Planetary Magic book. Would not recommend this one for beginners. I think it's going to be way too difficult for beginners. Maybe not difficult, but just like overwhelming. So this is why I love comparing notes, because that book over there, Practical Planetary Magic, says that the element associated with Mercury is air, which I would agree with. But this one claims that the element associated with it is water. It also gives the Kabbalistic number of 8, but then it also gives a medieval number of 5. We have the octagon and octagram to work with, and the colors are slightly different as well. So that other book had shown a light blue with the orange. This one's giving more yellow, orange, light apricot, or a greenish white color. I want to see if there's some herbs though that I can weave into this as well. So we've got, I do have lavender. I don't have any ferns right now. Ooh, I do have some lavender oil. So I might work with that a little bit. Although what I'm trying to do, it's going to be a very stimulating ritual. And I feel like lavender is pretty sedating, at least for me. So I don't know if I'm personally going to work with that correspondence. It's going to make me sleepy. So maybe some lemongrass though. I feel like that might be good. Okay, so we've got some imagery here that can correspond with Mercury. So we've got the Hermit, the Divine Messenger. You know, I could use the Hermit and Tarot as a correspondence for this ritual, but I I don't know how I feel about that either, because that isn't quite the right energy that I'm going for. I guess I didn't even tell you all what this ritual is for yet, but you know, we'll get to that when I actually do the ritual. And then this book goes through all the different spirits that you can work with, as well as the sigils corresponding to these spirits or angelic beings. Okay, there were another couple books that I was gonna look through besides just those two, but I can't find the information that I want. I can find information, but I can't find the information that I am personally looking for. And I can't find the final book that I wanted to consult. So I think I'll have to go with what has been presented so far. So the third step is really constructing the ritual itself. So I think I'm going to use the number 8, like I mentioned. So I'm probably going to either chant something 8 times or maybe do my heptagram ritual 8 times, which I'll talk about later. I think I'm going to face east. I think that feels intuitively good to me for what I'm trying to do. I really want some stimulating herbs to bring in as well, and I'll probably work with the color orange or light blue. I'll have to see what I have available. If I have a candle, I think I have a light blue candle. I don't know. I'll have to check. I would prefer to work with blue for this particular ritual rather than orange, but we'll see. So stimulating herbs, I'm thinking I want some rosemary and peppermint in this because I should probably share the actual intention of this ritual. I have finals next week for school, and I have really been struggling to focus on my schoolwork the past, I don't know, 3-4 months or so, because I'm getting towards the end. In fall quarter, I have my very last lab, and then I'm done with labs and I never have to do labs ever again, which is really quite exciting. But I'm getting that like senioritis, you know, where it's like, I don't want to do any work. I don't want to do my homework. I don't want to study. And I'm struggling. I'm really struggling to like motivate myself. And I wanted to use Mars for this a little bit as well. That's why I wanted Mars to really be in Aries. But I'm going to focus on Mercury in this ritual and just trying to increase my focus when it comes to schoolwork and getting good grades and things like that. Okay, so I do have a blue candle, but also like it's crooked. Look at that thing. Look at this thing. Look at how crooked that is. What is going on with this candle? Okay, well, it's really the only color that kind of works for this. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to carve my intention phrase onto the candle, or you know what? Maybe I'll make a sigil instead. I'll make a quick sigil and carve that into the candle. And then I'll probably carve in the symbol for Mercury and the number 8. And then I'm thinking I want to surround this candle with some rosemary and peppermint. Oh, you know what? I do have this Mastermind incense blend that I made forever ago that has rosemary and peppermint in it. And it's literally meant for cognitive performance and things like that. So maybe I will take some oil. So I'll carve the candle, take some oil, and then mix the oil with this powder to create a paste. And then I'll add it to the candle before I burn it. I want to get a little altar set up too. I want to get a whole situation set up. So let's play. Let's create something that will really ignite my ability to focus on my schoolwork and do the things that I actually need to get done. I forgot, I have this planetary altar cloth. Not planetary, sorry. It has the zodiac signs on it. So I think what I'm going to do, what I've done before, let's just move that over for a second. This is such a messy video. Gemini is right here. So I think I'm going to place the candle on Gemini because Mercury is in Gemini right now. Yeah, that feels good to me. We're gonna place the candle here and do the working in this position facing east, which happens to be in this direction, which is perfect. My desk literally faces east for new beginnings, and oh my gosh, I love that. So Gemini in the east. Okay, we're cooking. So I am going to prep all of this now, even though it's not the hour of Mercury yet. I'm gonna light the candle when the hour of Mercury starts, and I'm gonna keep the candle lit during the entire hour. But I can make the sigil ahead of time, I can anoint the candle ahead of time and just get everything prepped and ready to go. That way tonight at 7:47 p.m. I can just light the candle and do my energy work, and it should be pretty easy. I also wanna point out, okay, usually I wouldn't do this all in one day. Usually it's only because I'm filming and I need to have this video come out by a certain time. But usually what I would do is I would prep a lot of this stuff way ahead of time. I mean, if I wanted to do a particular type of working, I would look into next week and look at the placements and see what astrologically things are looking like, or even like a month ahead. That way I can slowly prep all this stuff and not have to do all this work in one day, because this is a lot of prep for just doing it all in one day and doing a spell today. And I think the plan is I'm gonna light this candle. So like I said, I'm gonna light the candle, let it burn for the entire hour of Mercury, and then I'm gonna snuff it out. And then the next day, I'm also going to light it again during the hour of Mercury, let it burn the full hour of Mercury, and then snuff it out, etc. And then I will keep doing that in future days until the candle has burned down to nothing, because obviously this candle is gonna take a lot longer than just like an hour and 20 minutes to finish burning. So I'll keep burning it during the hours of Mercury in days moving forward until there's nothing left. Oh, another thing I wanted to add to planetary timing that I didn't talk about in the beginning of this video is that I think moon phases can be really helpful as well. Right now, the moon happens to be waxing, which is great because it's that building, manifesting energy. I would not try to do this type of working on a dark moon, you know? It just, the energy is not right. I do consider the moon phases when trying to figure out my planetary magic rituals, even if I'm not specifically working with the moon, because I feel like the moon has a lot of influence into how I'm feeling that day, my emotions, and where my inner world is at. So I do consider the moon phase, even if I'm not working with the moon and I'm working with another planet, but it's waxing anyways, which is perfect. What I decided to do is I carved in the symbol for Mercury at the top, then the number 8, then my intention phrase. I usually make a sigil, and then I usually use the planetary grid to make the sigil, but I didn't want to do all of that today since I'm doing this all in one day. So I just wrote down my intention phrase. If you're also in school, you're needing focus, you can use an intention phrase such as I am focused on my schoolwork, or I pass all my classes, or, you know, if there's a certain grade you want to get, whatever. So I put my intention phrase on there, and then I put a little graduation cap at the very bottom. I just kind of carved in a quick little image of graduation cap, and I forgot I had this Mercury ritual oil, and it smells so freaking good. It smells like lemongrass. I got this one from the Serpent's Wand, but anyways, it's just really pretty. It's got this like gold yellow shimmer to it, which is perfect because the books I was looking at were saying, you know, a yellow or an orange or a light blue. So I love that I get both of these colors in here for that. So I drizzled this on the candle 8 times, and then I added my Mastermind incense blend. You can just see I kind of smashed it into the candle where I had written my intention phrases. And that's it. So we're ready to go for the hour of Mercury. So I'm just going to place this in the position of Gemini, and then I'll clean up a little bit. Later tonight, I will come back, and when I light the candle, I will be doing some energy work. So what I typically like to do, I do a little meditation. I'll kind of explain this beforehand because it's hard to explain during ritual and I don't want to be distracted. So I'll just explain it now. But when it comes time to actually doing the ritual and doing the energy work, I visualize the crown of my head opening up to the cosmos, almost like tree branches growing out of my head and reaching towards the sky. And then I visualize drawing down that celestial energy through my tree branches and into the crown of my head. So that's kind of just how I open myself up in general. There's so many airplanes today that are flying by as I'm trying to film, but that's how I open myself up to celestial energy in general. And then I will meditate specifically on the color associated with the planet. So in this case, I'm working with a light blue / yellow orange. I really want to stick with the blue though for my color because we're going studious, we're going for focus with schoolwork, and with the biopsychology of color, blue is just the best color for that. So I'm going to stick with that light blue color, and then I am going to perform my heptagram ritual to actually invoke Mercury. I have a video on this channel that I will link in the description box below that explains how to do the heptagram ritual that I have created. I'm not going to be explaining that in this video, so if you're interested in that, feel free to go check it out. But if you see me doing this, over the working when you actually see me doing the ritual. Just know that this is the heptagram ritual. So I'll do a little meditation to open myself up to the celestial energy, and then I will visualize the color. I will do the heptagram ritual to invoke Mercury. And then at that point, sometimes I'll just sit in silence and visualize my intention coming to fruition, or sometimes I'll chant as well if there's a particular phrase I want to chant, or a hymn I want to chant, or a prayer. You could even do a prayer to the planet, and then I will just let the candle continue to burn until the hour's up. So that is the plan. See you later tonight.